Danielle, we got our first question. Danielle.
Okay, I promise to be on your behavior. As you know, the treasurer position, I don't know who has spoken to Shoshana, but you guys deal directly with the club officers, making sure that all the clubs are staying on budget. What have you done to that extent? Have you gone to any of the club meetings? Have you dealt or spoken with any of the club presidents at this point in time?
I was offered a position with the JSA board, and I didn't take it because I plan on running here. So I know David Silverman and Lindsay Rosen, and at the meeting I was at with them, because I try and participate as much as I can with them, they were kind of, I don't want to say bad mouthing, but the fact that they weren't getting enough money. I know that's a problem that they're dealing with right now. Something that I kind of took account of when I was listening to that. And obviously, your most important thing is you got to appease every club. And I know you have a very limited budget, and they might be upset right now, but your goal really is to do the best you can, making them use their resources as best as possible.
Okay, the role of the treasurer, the way I see it, as I've spoken to Shashan, is you're going to be budgeting. You're going to be allocating the budget for everybody, for all clubs. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't spoken to any of the presidents. I'll be honest, but then like any other job, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a new role for me. But then the way I see it, it's not about me going to them. I think it's about them going to me because, the way we see BAM, and the way we see it, we have an initiative in, we want to promote quality events. So if it's not at par, or if it's not in the same direction as how we see SAC moving forwards, then I don't see it getting approved. So it's not me going to them. I think it's them going to me and seeing. Of course, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to relay the message that this is the direction that we're going. But I think it's a two-way street. Them talking to me and me talking to them.
So I guess related to budgetary issues and folks not necessarily feeling as though they're getting enough funding. And I know that the resources are scarce. One of the hardest jobs on the board for SAC is the treasurer's job. Have you been to really the larger events that do draw the greatest amount of funds? Like, have you been to the FWIB conference or to the MIA conference, the panel, or the retail fashion event? Like last semester, when you had the opportunity, there were larger events. Were you able to attend those events and kind of see what was done with those funds, so that you would have some idea of, the scope of the productions that can happen when the funding is supplied and then used properly?
You want to take? Because I took the first one.
I haven't been to. I didn't go to the Forum with Women in Business. I didn't go to all of those that you mentioned. I went to the small ones. I went to the small events that I deemed relevant to that my plans for my stay here in Fordham. But then when it comes to like budgeting, I think it's not subjective. If there is a need and if it's in one of the priorities of the school of SAC, then it's not an argument. It's not a discussion. Maybe there will be a discussion when it comes to like maybe if there's going to be a tighter budget, then maybe it's more like on canvassing and those small stuff. But I don't see any problem when it comes to the improvement in approving that big a project.
The MIA event you were talking about, is that the career fair?
There was a panel of speakers at a hotel in Midtown that MIA brought in professionals, including the chairperson for Showtime, another headhunter in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Which is the president of MIA.
Okay. Well, I didn't attend that event, but is that you?
Kritika was the president at that time, not Rich.
But Richard is the president.
Established president.
Okay, with the candidates. Let's give him a chance.
I mean, I didn't attend that event. I've attended other events, you know, try to make it out as much as possible to everything. I think really the first thing that comes to mind is every time I see an event that's being proposed, it's got to be an advantage for everyone in the student body. You know, a networking event at a bar, you know, on Thursdays, you know, I don't want to get back to what the prior two people spoke about. Obviously important, you know, bringing us in as a tighter community, but in terms of an event that brings a guest speaker from, you know, that can be advantageous to everyone here, you know, one that brings potential job seekers, I think that's the most important thing. I went to an event last semester, I'm not going to say the club, it was watching a football game and drinking. I mean, that's something that obviously we can't do again.
Yeah.
I know someone else kind of brought that up, but you know, if you want to do that on their own free time, that's great. You can grab a group of people together, but you know, I think we need to change it a little bit with that.
I kind of have a question. You guys strike me from just your presentations as being kind of polar opposites, right? Lonnie, you're kind of this nice guy, you know, like kumbaya. Let's all have fun. And Bong, you're very strict. The role of the treasurer, and Sushant, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It has a lot to do with communication. So we have 18 clubs. That number of clubs might be reduced come next year, come your term. However, you know, you have to not only reject budgets sometimes, but sometimes you have to find out more information about an event. So my question to you is this: what in your past experience have you dealt with conflicting situations like that where you have to somehow get to consensus?
Well, I was kind of the central focus of my prior job, working for the hockey team. I had to deal with sales team, marketing team, let's just say sponsorship sales, ticket sales, our game operations department. And to be honest, I made a lot of enemies. There's no doubt about that. You know, I actually had to approve a lot of things, a lot of budgetary stuff actually, with promotions being run. You know, you got to put your foot down. You know, when things come up that obviously don't make sense and aren't best for the organization. And you know, to add on to my prior experience, you know, I could say that with dealing with these different groups, you know, you can't benefit from the group that you're a part of. I was part of the sponsorship department at my job, so we were kind of at war with one other department all the time, going back and forth with them, and I was kind of in the middle the whole time. So my job is to kind of balance out both, and you know, when it comes down to it, I just saw what was best for the team. I made enemies on my side, I made enemies on their side, but like I said, it's always got to be what's best for the organization.
Okay, my turn. Okay, I may strike you as somebody who's kind of strict right now because this is a serious matter that we're here standing in front of you guys. We want to represent, so this is a serious matter. Okay, it doesn't mean that I don't talk to people. I do. I have a lot of friends here, and they can attest they have a good communication skills, soft skills. But when it comes to like getting the job done, it's not really subjective. If you need any information, whatever job that is, whatever atmosphere, whatever industry, whether it's in hockey or whatever in finance, if you need something, you talk to people.
Okay.
I have a question over here. Have you guys thought about, or are you open to working with some of the other schools to collaborate on events? That way you can maximize the amount of money you can throw at an event. For example, working with the law school on certain events that impact people in finance or other disciplines here at business school. That way, you can maximize your budget and you really good events also.
It's funny you asked that. We had a meeting with one of the professors here in school, although his suggestion was not pertaining, didn't pertain to law school, actually pertaining to other schools here, our neighboring schools here in New York. And he mentioned that I think it's about time that we do build something. Maybe join them to maybe happy hour or whatever. It can be as small as that, and then eventually it could snowball to something bigger. But yeah, of course, it's going to be part of the discussion. We don't know how deep it's gonna be, but definitely it's gonna be tackled.
I think we're already starting to do that. You know, I was just in my JSA example again. We just went to a nursing home last Friday and volunteered, and the undergrads were a part of it. The law school was a part of it. It was a great event. I actually met more undergrads. There were only a few law students, but there were people that we kind of shared contact information with. I'm kind of a little advanced. Obviously a few years, so I'll help them out. When they reach out to me, and I think it's important for other clubs to do it. I mean, I see other clubs doing it as well, but I mean, it's really a big impact for each one of us to take advantage of that, not only just as a school for monetary reasons, but also on a networking basis.
Yes.
You both have made mention about the importance of attending events that you feel like are of high priority to the student body, that you may have to, one of you is going to get elected.
Right.
And next year, one of you is going to have the responsibility of approving budgets for events like that. So my question to both of you is, do you have plans to attend our event coming up tomorrow at Trump Summit?
I do have an in touch with.
I'm not attending.
Fly. Be a better teacher. Fly.